welcome to the P3D Middle School podcast. We're your hosts, Carter Scott,
CJ Nevin,
and Stella Eaglehoff.
Welcome, Deputy Edwards.
Thank you.
So, can you tell us what was your motivation for becoming a law enforcement officer?
My motivation becoming a law enforcement officer was my brother joined the Marines and my sister joined the Army. And I felt the need to serve my community as well. Instead of going to the military, I decided to do law enforcement.
So you were an SRO at JCAP. What exactly does an SRO do, like responsibility-wise?
So responsibility for an SRO out at JCAP is I'm a mentor, I'm a law enforcement officer, and I'm an educator. So on a day basis, students will come talk to me just about what they're feeling or if they're having troubles with anything. I also educate, so they have questions about drug use or nicotine or vapes or anything along the laws of that. I try and help educate them. And then I also enforce the laws out at JCAP.
Have you ever had conflicts with any students or other individuals?
We've had some conflicts with the students out at JCAP. None of them have been too serious. A lot of the conflicts out there are resolved with just sitting down and talking and getting to know each other, and we can resolve any conflict there is.
What gets a student into JCAP?
Getting a student in JCAP is being disrespectful here at school, at the middle school or the high school. Being caught with a vape or a cart would entitle you getting sent to JCAP.
So, you worked on a police force before. Where was it and what were your duties there?
I worked for several police departments before coming to Jersey County. I worked for Girard Police Department. They were my first police department and sent me through the academy. My duties there at Girard were just patrol. So I enforced traffic laws. I handled domestics, medical calls, anything that just entitled me to do my job. I did. If somebody called, I was there. And then I went to Verdon and then Auburn. And the jobs at Auburn were the same as in Girard.
Were you involved with any huge drug busts or any serious offenses?
I've been involved in some drug busts. Right before I became the SRO, I was working the road over on 267 and was able to get a little over 2 ounces of methamphetamine off the road before heading out to become the SRO at Jersey County.
Have you had any underage drinking cases?
I've had a couple.
What were the consequences usually?
The consequences are you get a illegal consumption ticket. It gets sent off to juvenile court, and then the juvenile court looks at your case, and you'll be fined or possibly put on probation.
Were there any dealing cases or involving fentanyl?
I've had a couple cases dealing with fentanyl.
What's your opinion on fentanyl cases?
The fentanyl is a major epidemic. It's a very addictive drug. To try and get off of that drug is very, very difficult. You go through a lot of sickness, a lot of pain. I think for people that are trying to get off it, their best option is to have a good support team around them to constantly help them. And if they relapse, to remember that it happens and that they can still move forward from there.
What do you feel is your greatest accomplishment in law enforcement? Like, is it life-saving or changing experiences?
I'd say changing experiences. Life savings are also very rewarding, but if you can help somebody change their life from being addicted to a drug or alcohol or further things, I feel like if you can point them down the right path and continue to have them go down the right path is more rewarding because you get to see that be successful time and time again.
So we found out that you're doing a summer program with the Sheriff Department. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So our summer program involves kids at JCAP, or we kind of hand select some of these students throughout the county that we think would be great in our summer program. this year, our program is going to consist of team building. So we're going to select students. We're all going to put them in a team, and we're going to do team building exercises. We have motivational speakers come in and talk about their experiences of either drug use or how they got off of using drugs. And we've had the hospital come out and teach life-saving skills.
How could you get involved as a mentor or even as a student?
If you wanted to get involved as a mentor or a student, you could contact either me at JCAP. You could contact the sheriff, and just get in contact with us, and we can get you involved in the program.
So, do you have any stories about your past life?
I have a story about a female that I helped who was addicted to drugs, and I would deal with her on a daily basis almost, and she'd get arrested twice a week, whether it was for domestic, disorderly conduct, and she had been to the hospital so many times for overdosing that the hospitals were even having troubles trying to help her. Eventually, she was going to rehab, and I told her, and there was other officers that helped her along the way too, helped her get into the rehab, and we've all expressed to her that when she gets out of rehab was to go start new, move away, go somewhere fresh. And when I left Girard and I went to Auburn, I was working up there, and that female came in for an order of protection. I got to talk to her. She finally realized who I was and asked her how she'd been doing. And I hadn't seen her in a year and a half. She said that she has been clean for a year and a half. It was a manager at a county market grocery store in, I think it was Riverton, and had custody of all her children back and had been clean. So that was one of the life-changing stories that makes you feel good about doing your job and continuing to do your job.
Well, we thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Funded in whole or in part by the Illinois Department of Human Services, Division of Substance Use Prevention and Recovery through a grant from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
P3D out.